Hey, what's up guys? This is Sam here from Slick Tech, and in this video I have my unboxing and first impressions of the iPod Touch 6th generation. Let's get right to it. Alright, so let's get right into the unboxing, and there's the iPod Touch in its container right here. Now I like to save these containers so I can ship it later when I want to sell it. So we just fold this out and the iPod Touch will come out. And let's get to the star of the show, the iPod Touch. So we have this little wrapper around it. We're just going to pull this tab. And this is going to open, and there is the iPod Touch in its crystal case, just like previous iPod Touches. You can see we have the gold iPod Touch right here. You can see how thin it is. We have our capacity on the back with the contents of the package right here. We have iPod Touch on this side, the Apple logo, the iPod Touch on the other side, and some information about it. And one thing to note is, unlike the previous 5th generation iPod Touch, these items are not color matched to the iPod. They're just black, no matter what color you get. So let's go ahead and try to pull this tab. There we go. And the clamshell is going to open. And there is our iPod Touch. So we can just pull this tray out. There it is. And then lift this wrapper with this pull tab right here. And then once we lift that, the iPod Touch is free. So we can sort of flex this tray and it will come open. And just a side note, the sticker that actually covers the iPod Touch screen does have the old music app. So this is assumingly iOS 8.3, so possibly they plan on releasing this at an earlier date, but it just didn't happen. And we'll fold this back down. So let's set this aside and look at what else comes in the box. So we have designed by Apple in California. We have iPod Touch, just outlining some of the buttons with a little plastic label. We have iPod Touch info and a set of Apple stickers. These do not match the color gold, just like with the new MacBook. They are just white with no matter what color you get with the new iPod. I would think it would be kind of cool to have like blue Apple stickers, but I guess Apple just didn't want to. We have our lightning cable, 1 meter, nicely wrapped right here. And we have the cheap versions of the Earpods, which do not include an inline remote or microphone or the plastic carrying case that Earpods normally come in. It's just a biodegradable case. So let's just go ahead and put this stuff back in the package. And another thing to note is that this does not come with an iPod loop, because on the iPod Touch there is no iPod loop holder like on the 5th gen. Let's go ahead and reassemble this just a little bit and take a look at the iPod Touch. So while we're looking at it, I'm going to boot it up. You do see we have a color matching boot screen to go with the white. So over here we have our volume buttons, up and down, just like the 5th gen. We have our sleep wake button, which is still on the top. It has not moved to the side like the iPhone 6. On this side we have nothing. Right here we have our 8 megapixel iSight camera, which has the same optics as the 5th gen, but is the higher quality camera. So it's basically the iPhone 5's camera, but with software features, it is sort of like the iPhone 5S or iPhone 6. We have the flash right here, which is not a True Tone flash. It's just a single LED. And we also have a microphone right here, which you can kind of see has gold lining on the inside, so it does match. We have our Wi-Fi window right here, so Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.1. Bluetooth 4.1 is a new feature, can pass through this window. We have our polished Apple logo into the surface. It's not a separate component like on the iPhone 6. On the bottom, we have our lightning connector, which is outlined in gold. A headphone jack, which has a white insert to match the white screen. And our speaker, which does also have gold plating on the inside. And on the front of the iPod Touch, we have our new and improved 1.2 megapixel 720p FaceTime camera from the iPhone 6, which does get an improved f2.2 aperture to let more light in. And we also have something pretty special here because Apple has never made a gold device without Touch ID, so this is their first. And you can see the home button is actually gold, which is a nice little detail. And also, unlike the iPhone 6, we still have this chamfered edge like the iPhone 5 and 5S, which still looks very nice on a gold device like this. So let's go ahead and set it up. Just gonna press the home button. The home button also is the same one from the iPhone 5 because it is a little more clicky. It doesn't seem as mushy as the iPod Touch 5 home button. So let's just go ahead and get it started. And the screen is 1136 by 640, same resolution as before. So we're going to select English next. We're going to put United States. We're going to choose my Wi-Fi network. And I'm just going to go ahead and enter my password. So that's joining. And we're good. And now it's activating. We're going to enable location services. We're going to set up as a new iPod Touch. I'm going to sign in with my Apple ID. And there we go. We're going to agree to the terms and conditions. And it's going to set up my Apple ID. We're going to use iCloud. So I am covering those. Click Next. It's updating iCloud settings. And we're not going to add a passcode for now. We're going to use Siri. We're going to automatically send diagnostics, and we're going to share app analytics with app developers. So, welcome to iPod. Let's get started. And you can see we have iOS 8.4 in its stock state with the gold wallpaper. Last night I went to Walmart and just picked up this cheap clear case so I could see the gold. So we're just going to do a quick unboxing of this. Not a big deal, but there it goes. It's sort of a silicone clear case. And we're just going to put it on the iPod so we can see the gold. Now we've got Geekbench, which I installed, so we're going to run the benchmarks here. Now this does have the same A8 processor as the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, but it is downclocked to 1.1 gigahertz instead of 1.4. So it should be a little bit slower. It does have 1 gigabyte of RAM compared to 512 in the previous Touch. So it should be faster at running multiple programs at once. So it's about to finish. And you can see we got 1374 on the single core and 2417 on the multi-core. Definitely better than the 5th gen iPod Touch. This score is not actually as close to the iPhone 6 as it is to the iPhone 5S. So on the iPhone 5S here, you can see that it scores about 1365 on the single core, which is very close to the iPod Touch, and at 2414 and 2417. So these are very close. So essentially the A8 in here is about the same performance as the A7 in the iPhone 5S. Now another thing that this includes is the M8 Motion Coprocessor, which Apple also included in the iPhone 6. So this does actually help with the health app tracking steps and walking and running distance, as well as other metrics about you. So that's it for this unboxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.